Anyone who observes objectively what has been happening in the last generation notices that there is a struggle. Who is going to be the leader of the world of values in humanity? As of now, we are still in the situation where Western culture is the dominant culture in the entire world. Things today are in danger and there's a certain destabilization. The Islamic world is trying to be the leader.
First of all, many people in the West have completely lost their desire to be the culture that leads the world for the past 100 years or so. They want to live their private lives, so they have given up the moral hegemony and the political and economic hegemony that Europe used to have. Europe and its colonies as well. Secondly, there are many in Europe who regret and feel remorse for everything they did to the peoples native to Africa, native to North America, South America, their indigenous peoples. And then we, the people of the West, must cancel everything that we've done in order to compensate for the wrongs that we're guilty of. This is the reasoning of the post-colonialist discourse. And thirdly, many in the West have given up on Christianity. They've become atheists. And when you give up on your religion, you give up on your history, you give up on your culture, you give up on your past. You essentially have no roots. So it doesn't matter who will be there, whether it will be a country with a Christian majority or with a Muslim majority or any, it doesn't matter because they don't bring children into the world. And therefore, they are already looking ahead at a culture that essentially ceased to exist, or at least is about to.
Led by US and Western forces.
Palestine is the worst victim of this occupation, with the approval of all the other countries. And the UN Council, the US, Great Britain, France, all of them accept the occupation of our lands. They sponsored the Israeli occupation. In Palestine, that's why we have been resisting so patiently for all these years. The Palestinians are not fighting in vain. The Palestinians are fighting for their freedom, just like any other occupied nation in the world would do.
Cold War, it's actually a warm-up for the next Great War.
This is the Middle East, this isn't the West. All of the holy sites of Judaism, Islam, and Christianity are here. In the West, there's beer, vodka, whiskey, bars, there's jazz, there's ballet, there's pasta. In the Middle East, you speak in the name of God. You speak in the name of the Old Testament, you speak in the name of the New Testament, you speak in the name of the Quran, you speak in the name of the Bible, you speak in the name of Moses, you speak in the name of Muhammad. You also speak in the name of Jesus Christ. It's a different language.
The conflict here is extremely complicated, and most people want a simple story. And most people also think in terms that are very good for engineers. Problems, solutions. You come to the Middle East, forget about solutions. Let me put it this way. A pluralistic way of life is acceptable by a minority of the human race. The concept of live and let live is not common to the majority of humanity. It is a product of Western civilization to a very large extent. In the Middle East, If somebody is not afraid of you, you must be afraid of him.
What we believe is that we are not just fighting Israel's war. We are actually fighting the war of the entire Western world. A humane and democratic world. We are simply on its front line. We are in a fight against radical Islam, which calls us the little Satan. But see, they call the United States the Great Satan.
And amongst this monumental